Okay, so I need a new laptop and I've been pretty much invested in the Apple ecosystem, so I think MacBook makes the most sense for me. I heard a new one is out, so let's take a look at how it is. Okay, let's look at some of the reviews to see how that is. Cool, the reviews say this is the best value product that we can buy. Let's go to Apple. Look at it. Oh, see, here it is with the new sky blue color. I'll click on buy. I need the 13-inch and I'm using the education store as well. So, wow, they have it for $899. That's a steal for a MacBook, right? Right? Well, the reviews say it's the best value that we can get. Let's go ahead and purchase one for ourselves. I'll go with this color. I'll go with the base spec. 30 watt USB-C. Okay. $20 for the 70 watts? No, I'll stick with the 30 watt only. Now we need to wait for a new toy and check it out ourselves. I've been using this Lenovo YogaBook 6 since 2021, and for the tasks that I do on my laptop, this has been giving me some issues. So this one came with 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage, and this one had the Ryzen 5 processor. I think the RAM is the one thing that has been killing me. I mean, in 2025, having 8 gigs of RAM, even doing basic tasks such as opening your browser, opening a lot of tabs, this laptop was starting to slow down a lot. I was in the market looking for a new laptop, and since I've been invested in the Apple ecosystem lately, the video is being shot on an iPhone. I have an Apple Watch. I also have the new M4 Mac Mini. That's an awesome machine. I really enjoy the performance and how tiny it is as well. The new Apple M4 chip is amazing. It's excellent in terms of efficiency and performance. So it made a lot of sense for me to buy a MacBook, right? And that too a MacBook Air, because a MacBook Pro might be suitable for people who do a lot of their stuff on the laptop, but that's not me. So Apple just came out with this new MacBook Air M4, and this is the one that I bought. It's an entry-level laptop by Apple. It starts at $999 for 16 gigs and 256 GB of storage. So this one solved the RAM problem for me. All thanks to Apple Intelligence, all the new Mac starts from a base configuration of 16 GB of RAM. And I've been using this laptop since the day it came out. I really enjoy using it. It integrates really well into the Apple ecosystem as well. But something about spending $1,000 on a laptop that I don't use that often and I don't use that much of didn't sit right with me. I mean, don't get me wrong, this laptop is awesome. It's been performing really well. The battery life is amazing. The screen, the speakers, the webcam, all of it is amazing. So I started researching a bit into other options, and I found two really good options that I think a lot of you can consider if you don't use your laptop out that much. Now, the first option is obviously going to be a MacBook itself. It's the M2 MacBook Air. This came out 2 years ago, and Apple is no longer selling the M2 and the M3 versions of the MacBook. So you can get these from other retailers like, let's say, Walmart, Best Buy, Amazon, and they're selling it at really good prices. I personally got this from Best Buy for the price of $625. Now that's a saving of close to $375 compared to this MacBook. And even if you put in the educational savings and get this for $900, it's still a good chunk cheaper than this latest MacBook over here. And you get almost the same performance. Trust me, if you are a normal or a casual user of a laptop, I don't think you'll be able to notice the difference between this M2 MacBook Air and this M4 MacBook Air. The M series laptop, even the older ones, they perform really well till date. Now this is a refurb laptop from Best Buy. Some of you guys might not be comfortable with it, but even if you want to buy it brand new, Best Buy is usually selling it for $699 on sale. And also other outlets would be selling at the same price as well. Now, I would definitely go with this compared to this if you are a casual user and you just want a MacBook and going to the Windows side is not something for you. But if buying a MacBook is not a necessity for you and you can work with Windows laptops, I think this option that I have beats both of these easily in each and every department. Since I've been personally using a Windows laptop all of my life, I was really curious to see what the latest offering from the Windows side is. So the Windows laptops now have Snapdragon based processors which are based on the ARM architecture, which these MacBooks are based on. And those are really nice laptops, but they still are pretty expensive compared to other Windows offerings. So they kind of would beat the purpose of this video. So I was looking more towards the Intel and the new AMD offerings that Windows has. And trust me, the laptop that I have hands down beats this M2 MacBook Air and this M4 MacBook in terms of the price to performance. So this is the Asus VivoBook S14 OLED option. And I got this from Best Buy in the open box excellent condition for $420, which is like almost half of the price even if you put the student discount savings on this new M4 MacBook Air. This is less than half the price of this. Now I know people think that, oh, okay, a cheap Windows laptop, it's going to have a terrible build quality, the speakers are going to be terrible, it's going to have a really old processor, the display is going to be horrible, and just the overall quality and the feel of the product is going to make you question why the hell did you purchase this laptop and not go for something more premium. But I seriously don't know how Asus is pricing this laptop so cheap. The MSRP on this laptop is $950, but for some reason you will find this laptop on sale for $499 easily, and sometimes it does go to sale for $450 as well. And if you want to save even a bit more, you can go with the open box options at Best Buy. So this laptop is exclusive to Best Buy. Now you might be thinking, at the price of like $450, which is half of the price of this MacBook, it's really not a fair comparison, right? Comparing these two laptops. You'll be surprised how well this laptop performs compared to a MacBook. So one of the things that the MacBooks are really known for is their sturdy build quality. The screens are really solid. The body is really solid. You really don't see any flecks or creaks or anything like that. And also the hinge is really smooth and the laptop just opens with one finger. That was a signature build quality thing that MacBook started. Now coming back to this laptop, you'll be surprised that this laptop is also completely built out of metal. It has a solid build quality. It doesn't flex or creak at all. The display also opens up with one finger and the hinge is extremely smooth. The finish on this laptop unfortunately is not the best that I've seen. It's really prone to fingerprints. I mean, the moment you take this out of the box and start using it, you're gonna cover this laptop with fingerprints, and the only way you can take the fingerprints off is using a microfiber cloth. If you're someone who really keeps their laptop clean, I would recommend keeping a microfiber cloth with you. Otherwise, you will have to deal with the fingerprints on this laptop. I really hope Asus fixes this in the next version. The only build quality issue that I personally found out was once you close the lid, it doesn't sit flush with the body of the laptop. You can see it has some gap in the center with the body. And once you press on this gap, you can see the screen flexes a bit, which is not ideal, but considering the price of this laptop, personally, I'm not bothered with it. Now, the next thing that the MacBook is really known for is its speakers, right? They have really good sound. They have a lot of bass, and Windows laptops are usually really famous for their poor speakers. They're really bad sound quality. They sound really tinny, really shallow, but Windows laptops have improved so much over these past years. I mean, the speakers on these laptops are louder and clearer compared to this MacBook. The MacBook still has some edge in the bass department. The bass on this laptop is good, but it's not comparable to the Mac. But in terms of clearness of the sound, I definitely think this is better than Mac. The other things that MacBooks have that is really nice is a really good webcam. I mean, a lot of people use their webcam a lot for video calls, for meetings, for interviews and stuff like that. Now, this laptop has a 1080p webcam and it also has the Windows Hello login feature with that. So you can just look at the laptop and it's going to use the facial recognition and the IR camera to unlock the laptop for you. And the quality of this webcam is surprisingly really good. So this is a test of the Asus webcam and I think it's pretty good. It's a 1080p webcam. And also I'm recording on the inbuilt microphones as well. So you guys can be the judge of the video and the audio quality. And now I'll play the recording from the MacBook next. Now I'm recording this on the new 12 megapixel webcam that the Macbook Air M4 comes with. And I think the video quality is pretty solid. I'm also recording this on the inbuilt microphones in the MacBook as well. So you guys can be the judge of the video and the audio quality. Now in one department in which MacBook doesn't even come close to this laptop is the display. I mean, I have never seen an OLED display for this cheap. Getting an OLED at $500 is something that I've never heard of. And trust me, once you see how good this display looks compared to these displays on the MacBooks, the contrast, the brightness, how good and how deep the colors look on this laptop. I mean, an IPS display can only wish to be this good. It's a 1200p 16:10 aspect ratio and it runs at 60 Hz. I really wish it would be 120 Hz. I mean, a lot of Windows laptops come with that, but even these MacBooks have a 60 Hz display, so I think that's not an issue. But man, this is such a color accurate display. It covers 100% of the DCI-P3 space, and the color accuracy out of the box on this laptop is fantastic. The only drawback in screen that I see in this laptop is that it's really glossy, it's really reflective. So if you're using this display outside, that could be an issue. But if you're mostly an indoor user, I think you'll really appreciate the display quality that's on offer in this laptop. Another thing these Apple MacBooks are really known for, especially the M series one that recently came out, is how efficient this new processor is, this new architecture is. And I mean, the MacBook Airs don't even have a fan. So it doesn't matter how hard you push these laptops never make any sound at all. And Windows laptops in the past have been really famous for being inefficient and also sounding like a jet engine every time you try to even open a browser on a laptop. But trust me, this new Intel chip that this laptop has, it really surprised me on how well Intel has caught up to the competition. So this laptop has the Intel Core Ultra 5 226V chip in it. And what can I say? It's just an awesome chip. It's an 8-core, 8-threaded part with 4 performance core and 4 efficiency cores. And it runs at a TDP of 16 watts to 29 watts on this laptop. So if you're using daily tasks such as just opening up your browser, writing up some emails, this laptop won't even start its fan. But if you push this laptop, the fan does turn on. But the good thing is that the fan is extremely quiet. It doesn't sound like a jet engine. And if you're really bothered by the sound of a fan, you can just put this laptop in its silent profile. Another thing that I really enjoyed with this laptop is the battery life. I think Intel has caught up and it's on par with these two MacBooks. The MacBooks are really impressive in the battery life, and so is this new Windows laptop. Even with an OLED screen which is known for consuming more battery compared to the IPS variants, I think this laptop performs extremely well. We are now close to 18-hour, 20-hour video playback times that Windows laptops have just not been able to do, and this laptop can do it right now, and that too with an OLED display. So I think you'll be really impressed with the battery life that this laptop has to offer. Now let's come to the keyboard and the trackpad section. This is a place that I think this laptop can definitely improve a bit. I mean, the trackpad is of a really good size. It's almost as big as the MacBook trackpad, but the clicks on this laptop doesn't feel satisfying. I think you can definitely use a mouse or something with this laptop, and that would solve this issue if you're used to like really good trackpad. And the keyboard is a bit on the mushy side. It's not that clicky or tactile. If that's what you like, then I think you'll enjoy this keyboard. I prefer a more tactile keyboard. It took me some time to get used to this one, but once you get used to it, it's a really nice keyboard. The keys are really well spaced out. It's a backlit keyboard, and you can change the colors using the Windows Dynamic Light Control as well. Another thing that's really awesome in this laptop compared to these MacBooks over here is the port selection that is available. I mean, the MacBooks just have 2 Thunderbolt ports and a headphone jack. That's all you get on it. And if you want to connect, let's say, a display or something else like an SD card to it, right, you'll need to have a dongle. So that's another expense that you have to make with these MacBooks. But luckily on this Windows laptop, that wouldn't be the case. So this one has an HDMI 2.1 port, 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, a micro SD card slot, a 3.5mm jack, and 2 USB-A ports as well on the right. So I think you won't need to buy a dongle with this laptop, and I think that's also a win. So I think the price point that this Asus laptop comes in, it doesn't make any sense to spend twice and get almost the same laptop at the Apple side. I mean, if you're really invested in the Mac ecosystem and that's the only thing that you want, then I think it makes sense. if money is not an issue for you, then sure, go ahead and go with these MacBooks. But if you're someone who's more flexible on the operating system side, I would definitely say take a look at this laptop. You will be pleasantly surprised on how good Windows laptops have gotten recently. I personally will be keeping this Asus laptop and returning the MacBook, and I'll do a full review on this guy really soon as well. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys liked the video. I'll see you next time.